Hey everybody, Shoc here, and today I'm going to be starting a new video series here on my YouTube channel that I'm going to tentatively call Know Your Hearthstone. If somebody can come up with a more clever name than that, please leave it in the comments. I've tried, I've racked my brain. I don't have the spare cognitive power to come up with something more clever, or maybe I'm just not that clever of a person. So if you have something more clever than Know Your Hearthstone, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to call this Know Your Hearthstone, and this will be episode number 1. What this video series is going to be basically me talking in about 5-minute segments on different topics. If you have questions, if you have specific things you want me to address, you want me to talk about, if you have questions just to ask, please do so. Ask it in the comments, send me a message on Twitter. The information is in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. But today I have a topic already planned out. This should give you an idea of the type of stuff you might want to ask, but it's not limiting at all. If you have just a random question you want to ask, like why are mages so annoying in Arena, go ahead and ask that as well. Whatever you want to ask. All right, so today what I'm going to cover is how Unleash the Hounds may actually, and not may, how Unleash the Hounds is making you a better player. Yes, it's an annoying card to play against. I get it. What I'm going to cover today is kind of why it's so annoying, why it really gets under everybody's skin, even though other cards are probably more powerful and are worse against you. This one just feels worse. I'm going to cover that. Now I'm also going to talk about how that's making you a better player. So Unleash the Hounds, the reason it gets under people's skin so much is that not only is it a negative effect that your opponent's playing, so it's really good for your opponent, it also punishes you for playing the game. And not only that, but it's the most blatantly obvious card that punishes you for playing the game. You notice immediately that the third minion you played out last turn is contributing to your opponent's success because they just played out a Starving Buzzard into an Unleash the Hounds, into a Timberwolf, and now you're incredibly far behind. But what's the big difference between that and Flame Strike? You know, why is this so much worse than Flame Strike? Flame Strike also punishes you for playing that third minion out. You play Hearthstone the way you want to play it, and then they play either Unleash the Hounds or Flame Strike, and both of them are really bad for you. So why is it that Unleash the Hounds gets so much worse of a bad rap? Why do people hate it so much more? What I think is not only are you getting a negative effect like in Flame Strike where you lose your entire board, but your opponent's also getting a positive effect. They're drawing cards. They're getting a board state out of it. If they don't have to use all of the hounds to kill all your things, then they've just really gotten far ahead. And I think that partially explains why Unleash the Hounds just gets such an emotional, visceral reaction out of people. They hate the card because not only does it punish them for playing Hearthstone, it also rewards their opponents for you playing Hearthstone, and that really sucks essentially. Flame Strike, yes, it's bad, but your opponent had to spend almost their entire turn doing it, and they got nothing in return in terms of their own board state. What ends up happening is Unleash the Hounds ends up punishing people for playing the game they want to play it. But here's the thing, once you get that done to you 2 or 3 times and you realize that that third minion you played out was pretty bad, you start kind of watching what you're doing. When you play a hunter, you know that you play out minions fully knowing that there's a good chance that that minion could be the one that kills you because of Unleash the Hounds. You fully start playing around Unleash the Hounds at that point. That is a great thing to do. All of the best players play around cards in their opponent's hands. When you watch streams, do you not notice how legends or even really good players will call out the cards that their opponents are about to play? They'll say, okay, he's probably going to Defender of Argus here. He'll probably have Consecrate here. I shouldn't do this in case he has a True Silver Champion, so on and so forth, and then they end up having those cards. They know what to play around, and that is a very good skill to have for top-level play, knowing what to play around and playing around it. You don't know it, but every time you get quote-unquote face rolled by an Unleash the Hounds, you're getting more training in how to play around your opponent's cards. And even though it doesn't directly translate, if you can start remembering those lessons of when I'm playing against a hunter, I need to be wary of Unleash the Hounds and play my minions accordingly. If you can start remembering that when you play against mages and think, okay, it's getting close to turn 7, should I slow down playing a bunch of minions out on the board to make sure I have something for after the Flame Strike? Same thing against Paladins. If you're playing like a Warlock aggro deck in ranked play, and you have a bunch of X2s, things with 2 toughness in other words, and you get to your 3rd turn and you're thinking, okay, I need to slow down. I don't need to keep dropping minions on the board. Maybe I should just life tap, attack with what I have, allow him to get the value out of the Consecrate he's going to get, and then continue to develop my board afterwards. That's the sign of a good player. You can't just throw everything out on the board. against anybody really, because if they don't have Unleash the Hounds, they have Consecrate, they have Flame Strike, they have Hellfire or Shadow Flame. There's something to punish you for playing out too many minions, and Unleash the Hound just gives you the first dose and the most blatant lesson, mind you, on how not to or why not to overextend onto the board. So yes, Unleash the Hounds is annoying. It's very frustrating to play against. I hate playing against the card, but it's a great tool to learn how to play around what your opponents are doing and how to game plan accordingly and think multiple turns in advance. Because you're doing it, you may just not realize you're doing it. Take those lessons and apply them to other matchups. Don't play into your opponent's Holy Novas or Consecrates or Hellfires or whatever the case may be. Don't give them that added value, all right? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.